In the past battle, the Duchies of Vinici traveled through a void gate and searched for Mind Stone, only to cross paths with the army of Saurians on a pilgrimage to fulfill a prophecy. Despite the Saurians having home field advantage in the thick jungle, the Vinici were able to fend off a sneak attack and even take prisoners. The Vinici set up camp in the next clearing as the Saurians hide in the shadows and plan to attack and release the captives. 5 objectives will be placed in the clearing that represent the Saurian prisoners. The Saurians can win this mission by having control of more objectives than the Vinici. If a Saurian unit can reach an objective without being challenged by a Vinici unit, the Saurian can pick up and carry it. 760 points of Vinici will deploy first in the clearing. The Vinici have 1 unit of militia, which will be hitting on 6s instead of 5s because they were injured in the last mission. 1 unit of Harlequins, a Vitaria, a Caro Amato, and 2 narrative heroes, Lucrezia and Inato. The Vinici will be using solo AI rules, which can be downloaded for free at onepagerules.com. Deploying in the thick jungle, I will be commanding 835 points of Saurians. Starting with geckos, a unit of chameleons, a spiked lizard that will be hitting on 5s because it was also injured in the last mission, a Spinosaurus, and 2 narrative heroes, Hecatlo and Teki. The stage is set, and I'll be playing this mission using 15mm scale, and I'll also be using the half distance mode so I can play this mission in a smaller area. In the past battle reports when I play solo, I've been assigning a number to each enemy unit and then I activate that unit in that order. This time I'm assigning each enemy unit 2 different poker cards. For example, the militia is assigned a 1 and a 10. I discard any unused cards from the deck and then I will draw a card for activation. This will give the enemy units a randomized activation order that I won't be able to plan for. In this mission, there are a few storyline dice rolls that you need to make before each round, called Danger in the Dark. I performed these dice rolls, but I'm not going to show this in detail because the chart and outcomes are part of paid content. Be sure to go to onepagerules.com to purchase Secrets of Tixal to learn more details. As far as storyline outcomes, I drew 3 cards for 3 different Vinici units. These will receive torches, which will allow these 3 units to have bonuses in the Danger in the Dark rolls. Torches were given to Lucrezia, the Cataramanto, and the Vita area. My Spinosaurus took a wound, and the Hecatlo took a wound. And as for the Vinici, the militia took 2 wounds. The Cataramanto took a wound, and Lucrezia took a wound. All this before round 1 even started. The Spinosaurus charges into militia. For melee, the Spinosaurus has 2 attacks. First, the Stomp, a 4-dice attack hitting on 4s, and get 1 hit. The militia will be defending with 5s, minus 1 AP, and blocks the attack. The second attack is Toxic Bite, a 6-die attack hitting on 4s, and get 3 hits. The militia will be defending with 5s, minus Bane, and takes 3 wounds. The militia will strike back. They have a unit strength of 5, so 5 dice at 6+ because they were injured in the last mission. And gets 1 hit. The Spinosaurus defends with 3s and gets a 5. The militia is down to less than half of its unit strength, so it will take a morale check at 5+. And the unit will be shaken. the Spinosaurus takes a step back and ends its activation. For the first activation of the Vinici, I pulled a 2 of hearts, which would be the counter Amato. Per solo rules, the Amato will stay in place and take aim at the Spinosaurus. First attack is a cannon battery, 3 dice attack hitting on 2s. The storyline has an effect called the Darkest Night, which causes the Amato to miss. The next attack is a repeater crossbow, a 6 die attack hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits, 1 with rending. Rolling for rending first, defending with 6. And I get 1 wound. Rolling for the other hit, defending with 3s. Yes, and gets it. For my turn, I'm going to charge Hakatlo to melee with Harlequins beside the next objective. Sun Clubs are an 8 die attack hitting on 3s. I got 7 hits. 2 of them have activated Primal, which for every 6 I can roll for another attack. And I didn't get Primal. The Harlequins will be defending with 6s because of an AP 2. 6 wounds. Harlequins are a unit of only a strength of 5, so that knocks the unit out entirely. I had the choice of moving Hakatlo up, but I think I'm going to keep it where he is, just close to the objective, so at the end of the round he can pick it up. I drew a 4 of clubs, which would be the Vita, and it will hold position. I'm going to attempt to charge at Lucrezia. The Spike Lizard has both range and melee attacks, but I'm hoping to beat the odds and landing a hit with more dice with melee. Heavy Claws will be hitting with 5s because the Spike Lizard was injured in the last mission, and gets nothing. Lucrezia will strike back, Crescent Falcon hitting on 3s with 3 dice, and gets 2 hits. The Spike Lizard defends with 3s. Lucrezia has an AP 1, but with the Spike Lizard has a special of Fortified, which will cancel the AP, and blocks both hits. The Spike Lizard will fall back. The Queen of Hearts is for Nocto, and Nocto will use a special of Precision Shooting Mark to tag the closest enemy, marking the Spike Lizard, and will give any ally a bonus of +1 with range attacks. He will then melee the Spike Lizard. The hand whipping is hitting on 5s, 3 dice, and that's a hard no. The Spike Lizard will strike back, hitting on 6s because of fatigue, 3 dice. And I get 1 hit plus Primal. Okay, just 1 hit. And Nocto defends with 5s minus 1 AP. Dang, it gets it. And Nocto would back up. My chameleons have Strider, which will allow them to rush freely through difficult terrain towards the Vita area. I got the 2 of clubs, that has been activated. The King is of diamonds, that has been activated. And the Ace of spades, Lucrezia will be activated. Per the solo rules, Lucrezia will advance towards the closest objective and shoot back at the Spike Lizard. Karma hits on 2s, and this attack can only be used once per game, and gets a 5. The Spike Lizard defends with 3s. Oh, it takes a wound. I will go ahead and charge my geckos up against the militia, hitting on 5s at a unit strength of 5, and that's 2 hits. The militia is defending on 5s. That's 1 hit, and the geckos have Bane, which will force the militia to re-roll any 6s in defense. So both hits go through, knocking the militia down to a unit strength of 3. The militia will strike back, hitting on 6s times 3, and nothing. The militia lost in melee and would be forced to take a morale test at a quality of 5+. It only gets a 4, so the militia unit will be routed. The geckos will move up in the way of the Karamato. Taki will activate last to end round 1. He also has Strider, which will allow him to freely move towards the Spike Lizard. Taki has the ability to cure up to D3 wounds to any ally model with the Tough rule. The Spike Lizard only has 1 wound, so I won't even roll, and I will cancel out that wound, healing it completely. Like the last round, I performed the Danger in the Dark rolls off camera, and the Spinosaurus suffered 1 wound, same as Tixal. And as the Vinici and Nato suffered 2 wounds. In round 2, Da Vinci would activate first. First I pulled a 10 of spades, which was the militia that got routed. Now I have the Queen of clubs, which would be a Nato. He can choose to melee the geckos or the spiked lizard. I'll roll to decide. 1 through 3 would be the spiked lizard, and 4 through 6 would be the geckos. And that's a 2, so it'd be the spiked lizard. First, he would put a precision shooting mark on the geckos, and then move into melee with the spiked lizard. And Nato would be hitting on 5s times 3, and gets 1 hit. The spiked lizard would be defending on 3s, and gets it. The spiked lizard will strike back, hitting on 5s times 3. 2 hits, and 1 more with primal. Okay, just 2 hits. And Nato is defending with 5s minus 1 AP. And he is knocked out of the game. The spiked lizard won the melee, but I think I would have it hold position. For my first activation in round 2, the Spinosaurus can just make a charge in a melee with the Lucrezia. Stomp is hitting on 4s with 4 dice. He gets 3 hits, 1 more with primal, and dang, just a 2. I can't get any primal rolls today. Lucrezia would be defending on 4s minus 1 AP. 1 save for 2 wounds, and Lucrezia is knocked out. The Spinosaurus would move up towards the objective. I only have 2 units left for Da Vinci, so instead of drawing cards, I'm just going to roll some dice. 1 through 3 for the Karamato, and 4 through 5 for the Vita Area. And I got a 5, so the Vita Area will activate. It looks like it's in range of the chameleons. A crossbow crew is hitting on 4s with 4 dice. 3 hits with rending. Okay, rules mistake. I think it was getting late and I was very tired when I was originally doing this playthrough. But in the first round, when a unit activated rending the bonus, I did it correctly, as rending only applies for a natural 6 and doesn't apply to all the other hits. But for some reason, I started treating rending as if it applies to all the hits, which makes rending like super deadly. So apologies if you're following along with this trying to learn the game. Just know that this is incorrect how I'm doing this from here on out for the rest of the game. Chameleons will be defending on 6s because of rending, and 3 wounds. That leaves the chameleons with less than half of its unit strength, so we will roll for morale at 5+, and gets a 5. I think I need to go ahead and use the geckos while they are still at full unit strength, and charge against the Karamato, hitting on 5s times 5 dice. Nice, 3 hits, rolling 2 for primal, and dang, again, just 3 hits. The Karamato be defending on 2s, and saves all 3. The Karamato does not have an official melee attack, so it will not strike back. And the geckos will back up. The Karamato is last to activate. It will range attack against the geckos. The cannon battery is hitting on 4s times 3 dice. 3 hits because of the precision shooting mark effect. The Karamato's attack had an AP of 2 plus a Vinici bonus of another AP 1. So the geckos will be defending on 6s, and that will be 3 wounds. Next, the repeater crossbow hitting on 4s times 6 dice, and 5 hits. Again, a reminder that I'm applying rending totally incorrect. Defending on 6s because of rending, that's 2 saves but still 3 wounds, and the geckos are knocked out. I have a ton of Saurians left to activate. Technically, I can just grab this objective at the end of the round and then fall back to cover in this difficult terrain, and probably win the game, so I might just do that. I'm going to rush the spiked lizard up to maybe be in the way of any enemies. I'll pull Tixal back because he is carrying an objective. He does not have Strider, so he will move slow through the difficult terrain. The chameleons will be able to move freely through the difficult terrain and be in the way of any attacks heading towards Hakatlo. Now Teki will move close to the Spinosaurus to heal it. And nice, gets 3 wounds back. At the end of the round, the Spinosaurus would pick up another objective. I'm just assuming that it can pick up 2 objectives at a time. I'm not really sure about this, but that's what I'm going to go with. The Saurians are carrying 3 objectives, and the Vinici will still be defending 2. At the beginning of the round, I performed the Danger in the Dark rolls off camera again, but nothing really happened this time. Again, the Vinici will activate first. Let's roll to see who would activate. The Vita area will hold position and shoot at the closest target, which is the Spike Lizard, hitting on 4s times 4 dice with rending, plus the precision shooting mark. And that would be 3 hits. Again, a reminder that I'm applying rending incorrectly. With rending, the Spike Lizard will be defending on 6s and gets 1 save for 2 wounds. For my activation, I'm going to hold the Spike Lizard and shoot back at the Vita area. Shoot spikes hits on 5s times 2 dice with blast. And I get a 6, so rolling again for primal. Ooh, huge hit. 2 hits times blast 3 for 6 hits total. The Vita area would be saving on 2s. Not bad, 4 wounds. That will knock the Vita area down for morale check at a quality of 4+. Dang, so the Vita area is now shaken. The Kara Amato will hold position and fire at the Spinosaurus. Cannon battery hitting on 4s times 3 dice. And that'll be 1 hit. The Spinosaurus will be defending on 3s minus AP 2. 1 wound. Repeater crossbow hitting on 4s times 6 dice with rending. Dang, 4 hits. Again, another reminder, I'm applying rending incorrectly. With rending, the Spinosaurus will be defending on 6s. And that's 4 wounds. The Spinosaurus will have to do a quality check at a 4+. And yes, gets a 5. The Spinosaurus is carrying 2 objectives, so per the storyline, if it was shaken, it would have to drop both of those objectives, so I lucked out on that one. Okay, since the Vita area is shaken, it cannot hold any objectives, so I'm going to see if I can sneak the chameleons around in a rush action, and maybe I could grab the objective in the next round. The Spinosaurus will fall back. It does not have Strider, so it needs to stay in the clearing, but I am going to try to move it out of the range of the Kara Amato. Teki will move in behind the Spinosaurus and perform a mend action, and gets 1 wound back. I will have Hakatlo hold position to end round 3. Just like all the other rounds, I performed the Danger in the Dark rolls off camera, and both the Spike Lizard and the Spinosaurus took 1 wound. The Vinici will activate first. The Vita area is still shaken, so I'm going ahead and just activate the Kara Amato. The Spike Lizard is in range of both of its attacks, so let's see if it can survive. The cannon battery will be hitting on 4s times 3 dice. It gets nothing. Okay, the repeater crossbow hitting on 4s times 6 dice. And 4 hits with rending. Once again, a reminder, I'm applying rending wrong. So okay, defending on 6s. That's 4 wounds, and the Spike Lizard is knocked out. I was kind of hoping that I could use the Spike Lizard later to help take down the Vita area, just to gain some extra XP for this campaign. What I really should have done is in the last round I should have had Hakatlo move up closer just so I can use him for melee. But just for now, I'll just have Hakatlo and Teki just hold positions. The Vita area will spin an activation to become unshaken. Let's try to go for a spit venom attack from the Spinosaurus, hitting on 4s times 2 dice with blast 3. And that's 1 hit that will turn into 3 hits with blast. The Vita area will be defending on 2s, and dang, saves every one. Defending on 2s is crazy. Okay, so mainly I play skirmish and firefight, so I'm a little confused on whenever or when I perform morale checks. The Vita area has been down to less than half of its wounds, and I'm not sure if I should have done another morale test after it became unshaken, or after the Spinosaurus attacked, or do I just wait until it gets another wound? Feel free to correct me in the comments. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and end the game. The Saurians would pick up 3 of the objectives out of 5 to win the game. That concludes the second mission of the Secrets of Tixal. The Saurians won 3-2. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for mission 3 of Secrets of Tixal. Please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'm approaching 3,000 subs, and I'd love to hit that soon. You can also follow Square Table Union on other social media, such as Patreon, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Be excellent to each other, and I will see you guys on our next adventure.